all right, let's go back in that way back machine. You just mentioned Josh McDaniels and your tenure in Denver and the outset. Let's just go back to, let's say you're a second-year wide receiver, okay?
Yeah.
Let's go back to then Brandon Marshall. And let's just say somebody like Carson Wentz comes to Denver, okay? And says, hey, Brandon, I'm your new quarterback, and I know that this is it's a big splash that have just been acquired. I know quarterbacks don't say this to receivers. I'm just setting the stage. But saying is sort of like, hey, how about I wear number 15. How'd you like to, I'm kind of interested in that. What do you say to this quarterback, similar to the way that Wentz apparently approached Michael Pittman in Indianapolis for his 11? What do you say?
Same situation. Cut the check, bro. I need $100,000 minimum. I need $100,000, Rich.
Minimum.
Cut the check.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, at that point, like for him, he didn't play with number 11 in college, and I love Pitt. That's my guy. Hopefully come down and train with me this offseason.
Yes.
But there's other numbers out there, man. Take that $100,000, go buy your wife something, put some up in savings, play around in the market, and take care of yourself. You don't need that 11. But then the other side to it, I think that, and being serious and real, I think this is a test for Carson, right? There's reports coming out that he was hard to coach, or he didn't take to hard coaching.
Mm-hmm.
There's reports coming out today that where Philly messed up is they put him above the team and the organization. So now when you go to Indy and you got Frank Reich and you got Chris Ballard leading the way, that's not what's going to happen. That's not how Chris runs things. I had Chris back in Chicago. No, he loves his quarterbacks and he loves all his players. And he's going to play everybody in position to win, but everybody's going to be coached hard and everybody's going to be held accountable. That's why they're so good. So for him to come in his first test is, humble yourself and you're not going to get your number. I think this is a great start for him. And so now it gets, pushes him back in the corner and say, you know what? Yeah, I left Indy as a fresh start, but I still have a lot to prove to my teammate in this new organization.
I love your take, and I wanted it because obviously it comes from somebody who also knows the quarterback has to deliver the football to you. For your bread to be buttered, you need to get that spread, and the quarterback's the one to decide all that. And my take was essentially, if this was Brady asking for it, it'd be no question. Here's a number.
Right.
Like cut the check, right. But here's the number. So
it happened.
It
happened. He didn't even ask. Chris Godwin just gave it to him. He didn't even ask for any money. Brady comes in. You already know the deal, right? Here it is, right? And Deshaun Watson come in. The organization, you're going to walk into the locker room, and you're going to just have a new nameplate with a new number and a new jersey hanging up in your locker. Russell Wilson gets traded. That's what's going to happen. They don't care who you are. So it is telling.
Yeah, but if Russell goes somewhere else and somebody's wearing 3, it's probably going to be a kicker saying take it. But to me, I don't want to make a big deal out of it because if Pittman is open, Wentz will throw him the ball in week 2, no matter what week it is. Because I like to always try to place these, we're definitely bored between playing season conversations in the NFL media in perspective when the NFL is actually playing games. But for the first conversation with such an important quarterback receiver combination to be, hey, I'd like the number, and he's just like, no deal, pound sand, but we respect each other and I love you and I can't wait to play with you. It kind of does stick in my memory bank when they start playing games this fall, unless you can tell me from an inside perspective this sort of stuff doesn't really matter.
That's one of the downfalls there, and that's one of the things that wasn't talked about. We went all year where it was just about his play, and then towards the end, everything started coming out about him in the locker room and he as a leader.
Right. And
one of the things that's been a thing for a couple of years, you go back to a couple of years ago where reports came out, the guy was like, he's not who you guys think he is, and that was what they were talking about was he didn't have the ability to be held accountable, and he played favorites, in the passing game. He wanted to only throw to his tight end, and then you have receivers out there, and he was playing favorites, and you can't do that. Absolutely can't, because one, it doesn't bode well for the offense. You need to have a balanced approach. And guys feel that, and it breaks down the chemistry, and you start deteriorating what you guys are trying to accomplish in the locker room.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.